In 2009, Gearbox Software released a sleeper hit that mixed the first-person shooter genre with a dash of role-playing elements and combined it all together with a brilliant loot system. Borderlands gained a huge following, and thanks to the developer's DLC strategy over the next year, the game eventually hit over 4.5 million sales worldwide. Now that the inevitable sequel is about to land, Gameplanet had the chance to visit Gearbox Software in Dallas, Texas to talk to some of the developers about what changes we might see this time around.
Borderlands 1 was always in the desert. It was always very brown, very yellow, and we've always felt that Pandora is a really important part of the Borderlands universe. And so one of the things with Borderlands 2 we wanted to do is we wanted to show off more of what Pandora was, more of her personality and things. And so what we did is we wanted to take you to lots of different environments. So we take you to ice, we take you to a volcano area, we take you to areas with lakes and like lots of green trees and things to show off some more of the personality of this planet.
This time around we really wanted to add to the color palette, obviously with it being so brown before. I think we really wanted to kind of deliver on that Mad Max fantasy with the environments of that desert. And we were trying to push the different ways that you could stretch the brown, but at the end of the day we knew that the art style could do so much more. We knew that we could push it so much further. It really was a test early on to find out if we could get away with the color palette and make it still feel like Borderlands. How far can we push it? Can we actually go to ice and it still feel like the edge of the edge of space? Can we go to grasslands without it feeling, we didn't want it to just fall into like the stereotypes, and we wanted to know, like, okay, if we start expanding and our customers come back and our fans are like, man, this is cool, but where's Borderlands? So early on we were just trying to see how far we could push it, and it turns out the art style really lends itself well to just about anything we've tried to do with it. It seemed to feel okay. We got a chance to experiment with it in some DLCs in the past too. It was like Zombie Island. We were like, okay, what happens if we put some trees in Borderlands and we kind of give it this whimsical feel? And it kind of stuck. So this has just been an expansion of that, kind of testing our own limits and seeing what we could do.
The mission system in Borderlands plays an important role in not only progressing the story forward, but allowing players to get their hands on some of that glorious loot we all love to find. So what makes this stand out compared to other games, and how has the level design evolved from the original?
The thing that makes a Borderlands mission interesting is there's always an interesting twist to it. There's like, that's fine to go get 10 of something, but there better be something interesting about it or something compelling. And we always want to make sure that all of our missions have something like that. So a great example from the first game is Scooter wants you to go save Lucky so that he can kill him, because he promised him he was going to kill him. And there's things like that all throughout Borderlands. Tiny Tina, she's trying to put together a tea party, and your job is to go and gather all the guests. And so, and part of this is you're finding the guests. It's a big reveal on who they are. Oh, here's Princess Fluffybutt. Oh, so this is who you are. Oh, great. So lots of little mysteries and little surprises and little twists in it to keep it interesting and compelling and different.
We played the game so much more. When we were working on the first game and developing it, you've got that parallel effort where you're working, playing. But once the game shipped and we all are naturally fans of the game, which was a great change, to actually make a game you're truly a fan of, sitting around and playing with our friends for 10, 20, some of us hundreds of hours, you start to see opportunities that you missed that you were a little short-sighted on in the past. So with this, we could immediately jump in there and start to see those opportunities we had missed before. And also with it building upon a platform that was complete with Borderlands 1, we were able to get in there and test the game and play test with each other and form 4-player co-op sessions from the very beginning. Right when we started prototyping levels, we were able to actually jump in there and kind of see how it felt to play together. So there's a lot more time to iterate and find opportunities. The times when you're playing with 4 friends and you look to yourself, you think, in the first game you'd be playing as Mordecai the sniper, and you'd think, man, if only that spot right there, if it only were accessible, it would be absolutely perfect for me to assist. So those are the kinds of things that have really been polished in this game. Finding those opportunities to give everyone a chance to actually participate in their own unique way.
Gearbox wanted players to feel that the hero characters in Borderlands 2 were of their own, and opened up a large amount of customization with these characters in order to change their appearance. Some of these customizations can be found on loot drops when scouring the world of Pandora.
In Borderlands, you spend so much time with your character and who you are that you really find that you want to make this guy your own. Maya, it's not about playing just Maya the Siren, it's about playing your Maya. Some of this is shown in the skill trees. So the skill trees, depending on where you put your skill points and how you play the game, that's part of your identity.
Well, we have character heads. You can actually find these heads as lootables, killing enemies, and when they spit loot out, you might find new heads for your characters, bosses, mission rewards. So you can also change skins. Before you had the ability to change like 3 colors. You kind of go in there and you can modify like the belt strap colors, the pants color, and the shirt color. This time it's a little more in depth. They're a little more. Actually, there's a hell of a lot more love and effort put into those. Our art director was big on actually going in there and giving these guys these different color palettes and sets.
One of the philosophies in Borderlands is that it's not just about finding a better gun, it's about finding your gun. And so all the different guns have dramatically different personalities. All the different manufacturers play very differently, and you find that gun and that style of gameplay that really matches you. And then what's fantastic is you take that gun, you combine it with the skills that you love, and then you find the look that you have, and now you have this true, unique character, and that's your Borderlands experience. It's unique to you.
There are a lot of weapons in the original Borderlands, so much so that Gearbox was awarded a Guinness World Record for having the most guns in a video game. Over 17.5 million of them. These guns each come with a number of stats like fire rate, damage, ammo capacity, elemental damage, and the list goes on. With that many firearms, it can be hard for players to determine if the item on the floor is better than the one you are carrying. So how has Gearbox refined the UI for players so they don't have to break out an Excel spreadsheet to find out what the best gun is in their bag?
We spend a lot of time and energy to make sure that players can understand the gear that they're getting, what it does, and trying to figure out what's better, what's worse, and a lot of time with the UI. If you just take one look at the UI in Borderlands 2, it's gorgeous, it's much more user-friendly. It's all about helping the player to craft their experience, to craft who they are, and find the correct pieces to make everything work together. So lots of effort has been spent there.
One of the criticisms in Borderlands was the lack of variety in enemies, killing skag after skag after skag. This time Gearbox created a tool that allowed the designers to get in there and start visualizing enemies, without having to drag in all these other developers in there to help with concepts. Gameplanet got a look at all of the enemies in the game, and we can tell you that there will be a lot for you to destroy.
We have a great tool called Construct that really allows our designers to get in there and tinker, and that's what Borderlands has been all about. And I think that fans can see that when you play the game. You can see a lot of experimentation going on. And that's what this tool allows. The guys who are responsible for creating the enemies, Ruben is Ruben Cabrera. He's fantastic at that. But he can now get in there, and if he visualizes, it'd be really cool if I could take this guy and I could stick a pirate hat on him, and for whatever reason. If we have those assets, it now, instead of having to go through character artists and concept art revisions, it's allowed these designers to do these crazy things with the characters, not just adding meshes to them, but scaling up pieces of their body, and color changes, and just anything you can imagine. So now, rather than the iterative time of a normal development process where you're trying to get unique enemies and it takes the time from the upper level with concept art and down, we put that power in the hands of those designers. So now they can, anything that comes to their imagination and they have the capability to do it, you'll probably see it at some point.
The Badass rank is an evolution of the challenge system in Borderlands. It originally allowed players to complete challenges for experience points. This new system is profile-wide and allows you to earn these challenges across all of your characters in Borderlands 2.
So one of the exciting new features of Borderlands 2 is the Badass rank. Now what this is as you're playing the game, there's challenges that you can complete for Badass ranks. And as you earn Badass ranks, you're able to get additional power bonuses for your character. So like increased maximum health, or increased fire rate, or damage, or whatever. There's a huge list of them. So, okay. That's nothing new. The thing that's really exciting about it is there's 2 things about this that make it fantastic. Number 1, this isn't bound to the character. Your Badass rank is bound to your account, your profile. And so if I play any Borderlands character at all, my Badass rank is growing, and it's making all of my characters stronger. And the other thing about it is there is no level cap on the amount of Badass rank you can get. There's no cap. You can play this game forever, 200, 300, 400 hours, and there's still growth and there's still things to achieve.